guys, I'm Heidi and welcome to Kiddo's Corral. Today I decided to do something a little bit different, but I thought I needed to come in here at the beginning and tell you exactly what was going on. As you guys know, that our hot water tank went out last week and we went 4 or 5 days without hot water in the house, which was very invigorating, taking so many cold showers in the morning and all of that. So not so much fun. But where the hot water tank is actually housed is our utility room on the side of the house. So we had to take our deep freezer out of there. Well, when we put it back in, we had no idea that somehow or another it was left where it was gapped a little bit, and then Hurricane Harvey came through, and I have never, even though it did not hit here like other places, and this is not a complaint at all, because it could have been a lot worse than it was, but we did get a substantial amount of rain and wind. We had a lot of trees down, the electric went out. But one thing that it did, because the rain came in like in sheets that went sideways, somehow or another that rainwater got into my deep freezer, and it filled the deep freezer up with water like halfway, and it covered all of my meat that I had in there, and then it froze. So we had to thaw it out and pull all the meat out of the deep freezer, which means all that meat has to be cooked or thrown out. And you know me, I do not want to waste any meat because obviously food costs money. So therefore today I am cooking all of that meat. So we have 2 family packs of chicken legs, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the chicken legs into the crock pot and make my honey glazed chicken drumsticks. You guys have seen me make these multiple times. It's a big hit with my family. My kids love this, and the recipe videos for the things that I'm making today I will link down below for you. So that is the first thing I'm going to do, is load my crock pot. Then the second thing I have is a whole chicken. Now you guys have been wanting me to film my cream of chicken and biscuit recipe, and so this gives me an opportunity to do this. I am going to put that whole chicken in my Pampered Chef baking bowl and put it in the oven and let it cook all day, and then whenever it is done I'm going to take it out, let it cool. I'm going to pull the meat off the bone, and I'm either going to freeze that meat to film that video another day, or I may just film that tomorrow and we'll have that for supper tomorrow. Now I realize I'm making a lot of chicken drumsticks, but whatever does not get ate for dinner this evening, we will eat up tomorrow for lunch, because my kids, my family loves those chicken drumsticks, and so that'll make like a dinner / lunch for the next day. The other thing I have is a package of chicken breast, and I'm going to make my garlic and herb chicken breast, where I cut the breast in half long ways, and I just do that on my stovetop. And what I'm going to do is when it's done, I'm going to cut it into strips, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to go to the grocery store tomorrow, and I'm actually going to buy a couple Caesar salad kits, and I'm going to have that chicken on top of salad. So that'll be a dinner. Then we are going to have to cook up 2 pounds of ground turkey. And what I'm going to do is I have peppers and onions. I'm going to cut up peppers and onions. I'm going to saute those, and I'm going to cook in the meat. I'm going to add in my spaghetti sauce, and my spaghetti sauce will be done for another meal this week, which we will have spaghetti. And I'm going to make some cornbread to go with that. It'll be delicious. And you know, this is really where I wasn't planning on cooking ahead, but because of the situation, I'm going to be cooking ahead the meals that I'm going to be cooking this week. And so I thought that I would take you along a ride with me today, showing you guys me putting this stuff in a crock pot and me putting this stuff in the oven, and how I'm going to freeze it and everything, so that you guys can see how simple it is to come up with meals ahead of time. Now, used to, when my kids were little, I actually cooked this way on a regular basis pretty much. This was part of my dinner prep. A lot of times I would make things ahead of time and freeze it and then thaw it the day that we were going to eat it, and it just made life so much more simple for me, especially a busy mom that is on the go, and you know, because I homeschooled my kids and I had my kids at home all the time. So this will give me an opportunity to have a week of being prepared and being a step ahead. So I hope you guys enjoy coming along for the ride with me as I load my crock pot, my Pampered Chef bowl, and I get things cracking. And think how much easier meals are going to be this week for me. I'm kind of excited, but I didn't really want to have to be doing this, you know, under these circumstances that all that meat had thawed. So, or I had to thaw it. So I had to defrost the entire deep freezer and then pull all the meat out, and then the meat was still frozen, so I just let it fully thaw, and then, you know, now I'm here. So I hope y'all are doing well today. Thank you so much for stopping by Kiddos Corral. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit that like button if you like these types of videos. Now I'm going to get started with my day. The first thing I need to do is get my crock pot ready to load, and yeah, so we're going to have some really good dinner tonight. I love the honey glazed drumsticks. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is load my crock pot with the drumsticks because it's going to have to cook all day. I'm going to take all my chicken out of the package. Well, 2 packages actually. I'm just going to throw it in here. I love this recipe because it is delicious every time I make it, and you know, you can double the recipe just like I'm forced to do today, or you can just do 10 drumsticks or however many. I do at least 10. That gives everybody 2 or 3 a piece for their meal. And I have got big eaters in this family, so this is going to be one full crock pot. So the first thing I'm going to add to this is my balsamic vinegar. I'm just going to add in some soy sauce. And I'll come back in a couple, like an hour, and just stir this really, really good and make sure that all of this sauce is on all of the drumsticks, you know, underneath and everything. So I'm going to add in my honey. And then I'm going to put my lid on and turn this on low and let this cook all day. Now we are going to put in my whole chicken in the oven. And the thing that I like to do, this is my Pampered Chef baking bowl. I used to have the deep dish baker that actually served as like a casserole plate or the lid to this, and it got broke when I moved. So I just cover this with foil, and it still does a wonderful job, and I love this. And I use this a lot more during the fall and winter months because of the fact that, you know, you have to I put it in the oven, and I don't really like to heat my house during the summer months. But today it's not real hot outside, and I don't have 2 crock pots, and I need to get this chicken cooked today. So I'm going to ball up some foil, and this is going to keep my chicken from sitting in its drippings. I'm going to ball up foil. This looks pretty easy, doesn't it? And if you hear water running, it's because I'm washing my chicken off behind me. There we go. That's all you need to do. And then I'm going to set my chicken right on top. I'm going to get my chicken. And I'm going to put my chicken right on top of the foil with some olive oil all over him. And this helps all your seasoning adhere to the skin of the chicken. Even though I'm not going to be eating the skin, it still gives it great flavor, and I love doing this every time. I'm going to do just a little bit of garlic powder. and some Italian seasoning. Let's see, this might be brand new. Here we go. And then I'm going to put my oven on about 200 degrees, and I'm going to cover my chicken really, really good with the foil. And I'm just going to put him in the oven to bake pretty much all day. And that is that. That's the chicken. So I'm going to put chicken number 2, chicken meal number 2 in the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to my pasta sauce that I'm going to make. And you guys seen these in my Costco haul. I use these in everything. I love these little peppers. And I just cut the little tops off. I make sure all the seeds are out of them. I'll rinse them under the tap water. And then I just cut them all up. I love these things. They're easy and they're delicious. I'm just going to cut the little caps off, and then I'm just going to pull the insides out, and then I'll rinse them and make sure that I have all of the seeds out. I'm ready to start cooking my spaghetti sauce. I'm going to start out with a little bit of olive oil in my pan, or my pot I should say. And then I'm going to put in all my onions and peppers that I just chopped. That in there. A wooden spoon. All those pretty peppers, all those different colors. I think that's the reason why I like those so much. I'm going to add in a little bit of Italian seasoning because I like it. Put in some minced garlic. And I'm just going to get these to saute just a little bit in the olive oil. I'm going to add in some salt. That smells so good right now, just by itself. I'm going to let this saute for a couple of minutes. Okay, I've already added in my ground turkey. And all I want to do now at this point is just brown this up with these vegetables and olive oil and seasoning. So I just want to make sure I get it good and broke up in the pot as it's cooking, because otherwise it'll just cook up in one big clump, and we wouldn't want that. So once my turkey meat gets good and browned and cooked up with the vegetables, my meat is all browned. Now I want to add in my spaghetti sauce. And I'm just going to open the jars, put that in. And depending on how many people you are serving, you could split this in half. And you don't have to use this for spaghetti. You can use this with rotini noodles. You can use it with the 3 cheese tortellini. Just cook your tortellini and heat up your sauce and mix it together. Really, really delicious. Making spaghetti sauce is awesome because, you know, there's so many ways you can serve this. Sometimes I just take spaghetti sauce, a lot of times actually, and just pour it over some spinach, or just add spinach to it and serve it thick like this. And that's how I've been cutting back on carbs, is by eating a lot of greens. You know, a lot of cutting back on things like bread and pasta. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to my jars just to get the remainder of the sauce out. Give this a good stir. And this is ready. And it smells heavenly. Look at that, with all the chunky, this is the mushroom sauce that I like to, well, this one is tomato and onion and garlic. I like this one. I also like the one that has the mushrooms, but the last couple times I've gone to Aldi, they don't have the ones with the mushrooms. But if you add to it, you know, like the peppers and the onions, you could add mushrooms if you wanted to. I find that just makes this sauce 10 times better. And look how delicious that looks. I have a Pyrex dish that I use all the time. Now, if you freeze glass, you need to thaw it all the way before if you're just going to heat it up in the glass. You don't want to add heat to a frozen glass dish or pan. When I first got married, I made the mistake of doing so, and it exploded in my oven, and boy did I have a mess to clean up. So just a word to the wise, if you are new at this whole cooking thing, be careful how you add heat to because it like, what is it called, retract, I don't know, but it exploded. You don't want that to happen to you. So I'm going to move my phone. Not a good idea to start pouring pasta sauce next to my brand new iPhone. So I'm going to just pour my sauce in here as neatly as I possibly can. And like I said, you could put this in 2 different bowls. You could freeze one and then have the other one in the fridge for another day. What I do is pop my lid on, and I'm going to put it away. So now I'm about to start my chicken breast. I've already cut them in half long ways. And I've got something on my stove right here I just noticed. Not sure what that was. Probably where I was cutting peppers. But anyways, I put some olive oil in the pans. I've got them on medium heat. And the first thing I do is I add in a little bit of minced garlic to the bottom of the pans with the olive oil. And I'm going to use some tongs. And I do 2 pans because I cook it up faster, and it just makes sense to me to do it all at one time. I'm going to put my chicken in. You guys have seen me make this a million times. My family loves the chicken cooked this way, and I think I mentioned already, I'm just going to serve, once I get this done, I'm going to pack it up and then reheat it when we get ready to eat it, and I'm just going to serve it over a giant Caesar salad. So we're going to have chicken Caesar salad. It'll be really, really good. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to add in some Italian seasoning. And every time I do this, I do it a little bit different. So if you notice, I did it different in the video where I showed this recipe, or did a cook with me, I believe it was. I just use the seasoning that I have on hand, and it works out fine. I'm going to do salt, some pepper, and I'm going to find some lids to put on top of these. My lids never fit perfectly. They just are what they are. I am going to just flip my chicken breast over and season the other side. Do a little bit of garlic. Doing this one-handed, fun. It's an Italian seasoning. Whoop. It's okay. And then I'm going to do the next one. Some more garlic, parsley, some Italian seasoning, and then I'm going to set the timer for about 15 minutes. Okay, now my chicken is done, and I'm going to try to put as much of it in this container as I possibly can. The only thing about this lid with the metal handle is that it gets really, really hot. And you can see it is done. I'm just going to pop this chicken in here. And then when I serve it on the salads, I'll reheat this and then a little bit, and then I will cut it up and put it on the salads. And turn the heat off. Yep, it all fit. Good deal. All right. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this lid on, and this meal is done. And it's ready for the freezer or the fridge. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed seeing me prep for 4 meals. If you guys would like to see the actual meals, watch my meal inspiration video, which will come out sometime after this one. And you guys will see what we eat for dinner and how we utilize all that I made today. I'm kind of excited. I'm ahead of the game this week, and that is fantastic for me because I have a lot to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll be talking to you all again soon. By the way, can I tell you that my house smells really, really good from all this food? Anyhow, I'll talk to you again. Bye, guys.